Okay guys, today we're going to be talking about the lychee, not the fruit, but the app. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the Litchi app, and if you don't know about the Litchi app, it's basically a third-party app, and they offer you more features to control your DJI drone, and not officially supported, I guess, whatever, but a lot more features. And so this is about the waypoints, which I thought was an upgrade. Then I realized people were just posting it's a beta version of the Litchi, which is a good thing, so it might mean that it's not so far away. So I applied anyway for the beta version so I can test it and then so I can review it for you guys. First and foremost, I have to say it is not the full waypoint feature. And I have been using the waypoint on my bigger drone, my Mavic Pro, the old trusty, still not breaking on me. I have been using the waypoint feature on that drone and it's pretty awesome. Why it's awesome? Waypoint feature, you can create a mission, upload it into the drone, and it'll just automate it. The drone will carry out the mission. Doesn't even need the pilot to do anything. Pretty cool, right? So what is crippled about it? What is missing? Okay, so tested it out and realized that when you disconnect the remote, that the drone basically RTH. So what is happening, what I'm pretty sure is happening, is that the actual Litchi app is sending the information real time into the drone to execute the waypoint mission and not uploading into the drone. So yes, you need to have it connected, have the remote connected to the drone. Boo! So boo and yay, or I'm gonna have to discuss about this because one of the bad things about the Mavic Mini is that it just doesn't have like awesome range. It kind of sucks, right? But you know, what's a good thing about that? Maybe about safety. Maybe safety is good. So that's too bad that we can't use it to extend the range of this, flying it much farther. But maybe this drone is just too risky about that. So pro of waypoint cinematic shots, you pre-plan the shot and you can just set any kind of whatever your creativity that you could think inside your brain, orbit that transitions into a droney. It's just like any kind of intelligent shot or master shot that DJI has come up. You can just do any of that, integrate it, spin around, do anything, point at anything, you know, and just execute it and have the app, have it fully calculate where it's supposed to be pointing and how it transitions smoothly between those shots. So it's really cinematic. That's great. Pre-planning, like I said, you just can set the waypoint without the app or the remote connected to the drone. You just use the app and that's it. You know, you can just run it offline, save it, and then you can just do it later. So that's really great when you can pre-plan. Why I think that's great is because sometimes when you're out in the field, maybe there's like distractions, could be people or something else, or you just have a brain fart or anything like that, and you might just make a mistake. And if you're at like own comfort of your home trying to pre-plan your mission, you're gonna probably do it very well. Okay, and then another thing, a great thing about waypoint is that you can repeat the shot. Any mission that you do, you can just repeat it a million times if you want, and that enables you to have some creative shots. And I've been using that actually for some footage that I've been doing. Okay, cons. Okay, losing the drone, that could be a con. So I had a situation with my Mavic Pro, and in this situation, the Mavic Pro, I actually was doing a mission, and normally I stay connected to the drone anyway, just to monitor it, what it's doing with my hands off the joysticks. And one of my missions, I had the drone doing a sort of droney off of a building, like kind of going back and up and over the sea. And actually, when it was returning back towards the land, it was not making progress. Then I realized at that altitude, the wind was high. That wind was so high that it was overpowering a Mavic Pro, which is pretty strong. So that was crazy. Realized that I was looking at the screen, and the danger of that was if I was not connected to the remote. Basically what the drone would have done, it would have tried to complete the mission, which is flying back to inland, and it would have kept fighting the wind, not making progress, and then it would get into low battery, which it would do an RTH, in which it has to go back to inland anyway, that's the home point, and also be struggling against the wind until it'll hit the critical battery, and then it will auto land straight into the ocean. So because I was connected, I was actually able to save the drone. So that's one of the dangers of, like, you know, you're automating something that you're not monitoring. I think it's better to actually monitor your waypoint missions if possible. It's great that you can, with the remote that's connected, you can hypothetically send the drone on a one-way trip as far as you want out, which is crazy, you know, without being connected. So it removes the whole variable of the remote power strength. So that's kind of great thing about waypoint, but a dangerous thing. So, you know, what I ended up doing is I just lower it because I can see it and I know what to do. You know, I'm not a novice, and you probably know as well. You lower the drone when it's fighting the wind, and as I was going lower, it started to crawl back into inland. So I was able to get the drone back inland and then land it. So I switched that. I shut off the mission, switched into manual, and then just manually lower it and fly it back. That's one of the dangers, like I said, and so that might be a good reason. I'm not sure if it's a hardware limitation. It could possibly be a hardware limitation why you cannot upload the mission into the Mavic Mini, but maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe this beta version that's not the full waypoint, maybe it's a good idea, because the Mavic Mini is really kind of shit in the high wind. We all know this, right? It's notoriously bad. It's just physics. It's so light, it's so portable, just can't fight any kind of heavy wind. So imagine if you're trying to send this in an automated mission, and just like with my Mavic Pro, it ends up fighting some high wind that you're not aware of and you're not connected to it, and then 20 minutes later you think, where the heck is my drone? Where did it go? And it's in the sea, who knows where. So maybe it is a good thing that it's actually not uploading. Could be a way that you can just reduce that risk, and you still have the pros of a waypoint, which is all that cinematic pre-planning, repeating shots, and all that is really, really great if you're trying to be some kind of videographer with your drone. And not just that, who is this for? Like, you can say videographer if you're like a property developer or something like that, or a farmer, you need to survey over your land. This is perfect. You know, you can just have it automated, don't have to think about it, doing pictures, repeating over the same property as it develops. So that's probably pretty cool. Also, search and rescue might like this, you know, exactly the same reason, surveying over land methodically to search for something, you know, a person or whatever. Also, if you're a traveler, you know, this is a great travel drone. It's super small, and with the waypoint missions, you actually can save them. So you save them and you actually can share them. So imagine that you're going to another country and you can find another drone enthusiast and ask them, do you have like a waypoint mission of some kind of point of interest, like a statue, whatever you want to shoot, and maybe someone can share a waypoint mission with you, and then you can just automate that. You know, you can just upload someone else's mission, and then you have a very safe, very awesome shot. You don't have to do any guesswork. So I think this waypoint could be great for travelers as well. So I think that's pretty much it in what I'm discussing. The only thing I can possibly think that could be a problem with the app actually real-time uploading the waypoint mission into the drone, the only thing I can think is a problem is if the Litchi app has a problem. Now, I know that I had my Litchi app fail, sort of, and my DJI Fly fail, sort of, and the reason why they failed was because of the iPhone. Actually, it was a hardware problem. It was just overheating in the time I was shooting, and that actually caused a DJI Fly to actually fail in working, and which I mean is like frozen video feed, and like the orientation was totally off. And then I also had a weird like hiccup with a Litchi before when my phone was overheating, I think. So just be mindful. I think because your phone is uploading the waypoint mission to your Mavic Mini in real time, just be careful with your hardware. I don't think it's actually an app stability problem. It's actually the iPhone. You have an iPhone problem overheating. So my suggestions to you would be hot, sunny environments. Don't run the brightness of the screen all the way full. You know it's going to throttle down anyway, and you're just going to overheat it quick, and then it's going to throttle down. So just like put it in manual, put it like 70%, don't put it full 100%, and also try to like stand in the shade, and if it's really, really hot, you use a USB fan. I know they have smartphone USB fans made for gamers because the gaming apps overheat the phone, so you can have something like that if you want to keep the phone cool. That would be my advice, and I think that's it. So in conclusion, I think, in my opinion, I feel like this beta is ready. I don't know, I been flying it around, I've been testing it, and it seems stable. I'm not sure if Litchi is trying to figure out how to upload the data into the drone, but if that's a limitation of this hardware, I'm actually okay with how it is right now with the phone uploading the mission. Okay, anyway, that's it. Coming up is the actual footage, so you can see some footage of the actual Litchi app in actual flight, the Litchi app in actual use. So that's it, and if you find this useful, you can of course like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. I have set up just to go around the car park. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After 5, it's set to RTH. If you look at it, set to RTH. After it finishes the action, it's set to curved, so it'll make a curve between the points instead of a straight line. You got cruising speed, max flight speed. Because why it has max flight speed is you should be able to adjust the speed with the joystick to I guess accelerate or decelerate within the mission, as long as you're connected to with the remote to the drone. Default curve size if you're doing curve, gimbal, so we have a point of interest, one in the middle that each point should be pointing at. So it says point of interest, so it's just waypoint 1. It has a heading, and then it will say what the gimbal should be at, minus 30 degrees. That's what it calculates based on the location, direction, to make sure that the camera is pointed at the point of interest. So that's the mission that it should be running, and let's see if it does it. And we are going to start the mission.
55% battery.
Goes up to 30 meters, which is set for the first waypoint. That's how it gets the first altitude. So from the dead start, it'll rise up to the altitude of the first waypoint. 30 meters, then it's heading off. Heading to waypoint 1. So it should be adjusting the gimbal downwards to point at that point of interest 1, POI 1. So heading
53%
Let's
battery.
see if it does adjust the gimbal. There we go. Okay, so nice and cinematic. Very nice. So you can set multiple points of interest, whatever you want. Yep, it's going through the air right now. Whatever you want. This will get you a cinematic shot better than you can ever possibly get with a human being. So that's really one of the advantage of having the waypoint. And also another advantage is that you can repeat it 1,000, 1,000,000 times, as many times as you want. You can repeat your mission, so you can recreate it on multiple days. If you recreate on multiple days, then you can do some creative ideas with that. Okay, it should be finishing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, what's it, 5? Yeah, the 5th one. After the 5th one, it should enter, mission is complete, and it'll enter into RTH. Running the new tests, and this is seeing what happens when we disconnect the remote control from the drone after we launch the mission. See if it interacts with it, because normally it shouldn't. Let's start it up.
80% battery.
Normally the waypoint should allow it to automatically finish the mission even without the remote connection, but it's possible that it's going to the first point. It's possible that this is not a true waypoint. Okay, it's at the first point.
79% battery.
Let's see how it works. So it should actually be pointing down at the point of interest. Yeah, the point of interest sucks. Yeah, this is definitely not right. I must have not set the point of interest right. Okay, anyway. It's going through its paces, and it's on the 3rd checkpoint.
77% battery.
See it? Now I'm going to disconnect the remote. Remote disconnected. And it is stopping in its place. It's stopping in its place right
Warning,
now.
disconnected.
It's not doing anything. Let's see. It's right there. stopping in this place. Looks like it's, okay. Yeah, so it is confirmed. It's confirmed that the remote needs to be connected to the waypoint. The remote needs to be connected to the drone for the waypoint to function. So what I heard is that it's actually feeding the plans into the drone. Okay, let's see if it's coming back. It looks like it's coming back to the home point. Okay, so it's not a true waypoint feature. That's too bad, but you know what? It's better than nothing.
Warning, disconnected.
Okay, what if I turn the remote back on? Remote is turning back on.
Seventy-seven percent battery.
It went from the yellow blinking to the green blinking. Sorry, but it's continuing on the return to home. It's not doing not continuing the mission, whatever it's interrupted at. Not bad.